Hello everyone, welcome to Oakkey's kitchen table. I'm about to do my cash stuffing for the week. So I have $860 in prop money here, and I'm going to start by giving that a count. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 and 15 and 20, 40, 60, 80, 750. 760, 770, 780, 790, 800, and 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, $860. Now, it was going to be a big unveiling of my new binder today, but you might have seen my other video. There was a debacle with Australia Post, where I've paid for the delivery service where they keep my parcels for me, and what I'm finding is that courier companies can't deliver to them even when they give me the correct address, which they didn't. So it hasn't arrived, and I don't know whether it will arrive. Two different companies got in contact today and said, hey, the address is wrong. And of course, I had to say, I'm so sorry, Australia Post screwed up. And one of them just flat out refused to deliver to a post office, saying they always get rejected. And the other one said, well, they would try, but they thought that they expected that Australia Post would reject it. And that's what I'm seeing in a lot of forums and news groups, that people have paid for this service and are not getting it because Australia Post keeps rejecting them. So we may have a fight on our hands. I may be having a bit of a tantrum and asking for a refund for this parcel service if I can't use it. Sorry. That's my rant for the day. I just get distracted so easy. Anyway, that's why the new binder is missing. So I'll kind of explain what I'm doing, even though it's all jammed into this. So when we get there, of course. So we start off for the boring bits, which is the rent, which is still $400. One of these days, lightning will strike and my lovely landlord will just call me and say, hey, how would you like a discount on your rent? And then I would wake up from my dream. So 400. Home insurance is 10. Phone bill, internet, and YouTube Premium. I should have mentioned too, I actually went through and did my reconciliation, which I do every now and then, to make sure that the amount of prop money in here matches what's actually in the bank. And I also had a payout from Top Cashback, plus a refund of some fees from my previous home. And I was really happy because it basically knocked out almost all my IOUs. So I was over the moon with that. But it also gave me the freedom to rejig things like I'm going to show you. So the phone bill, internet, and YouTube Premium, which at the moment are all in the same one, will eventually be broken up into separate ones. So I'll pay the 10 that I normally put, and I will pay 5 off what I owe. This one's jacked up because I've actually changed my internet provider, phone provider that is. My phone and internet are on the same plan, and so I had to sort of pay that in advance, which is why I've got this IOU. But the good news, it's going to save me money in the long run. So, and that 5 is going bye-bye for the IOU. Okay. Transportation, I did use the bus, so 5 is going in here. My weekly discretionary, health and personal care, still 30. Another one that I might break up once I've got my new binder. We'll see. So 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 15. I originally thought I didn't want to have loads of different categories to save for, because I felt like when I was starting out, I didn't want to make things complicated, and that was still the right choice for me. But Then what I've realised is that some of the things I'm putting money away for are bills that are 11 months away. And that means the money just sits there in the bank, even though I have more pressing things to pay for now. And I could see that as I thought of other things that I wasn't saving for and added them in, I could see I was just going to run out of money completely. I wouldn't have enough to stretch across all those categories every week. So what I am breaking them down, but I am going to stop putting money into everything every week. You'll see as we go. So it's, one of them will be birthdays and gifts. Instead of always putting the same amount away, 15, I'll be thinking about what's coming up next. And if the birthdays are a long way off, I might skip it for a few weeks and concentrate on that more as I get close to it. So 120, 35. I'm sure it's very logical for people who've done cash stuffing for a long time, but it took me a while to get my head around it. Clothing, 15. Okay, so 20, 30, 45. Budgeting and printing, 10. There just seems to be a never-ending supply of forms that I have to print and fill out and send in. It's 2026. I would have thought that most things didn't require paper and pen. But unfortunately, they still do. A lot of government departments still tell me, well, you'll have to fill out the form. I've actually accidentally taken a ride with Marty McFly and no one told me. Maintenance, 5. I did used to have in this same envelope also things I was buying for the home, but I've made that a separate category now. So this is just for things like to replace my kettle when it eventually dies, to replace my washing machine when it eventually dies, things like that. Food, I had $40 left over for food, so I only need to add 80. 70, 80. That's pretty good actually, because included in that food I bought 3 packets of nappies this week that were on special. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 120. Personal spending, it was higher, but I'm actually just going to limit it to 40 because I found I wasn't spending it every week, and I'm going to concentrate more on filling and creating the categories. If I find that I need something that I didn't have a category for, then that's on me to actually create that category and save for it in future. Okay, this is the stack that's all going to end up in the new binder. So the first one I've got, and I have actually unstuffed all of these to like including things like paying off my home insurance for December. I've just removed all the money and got rid of the IOU just so that I could start this from scratch and feel like I'm doing it the right way. So charity, I originally said I was going to put $5 a week away, and I've worked out what I want to spend in a year. So this charity is Share the Dignity, and they have a period products drive in Woolworths supermarkets across March, and I've just decided that I'm going to have 50 to do that. So out of the 125 that I want to put in total into this section, and I haven't managed to give myself the right change, apologies, thought I'd done well there. Right, so we'll just make change there. Yeah, so I wanted to put 50, have 50 in there ready for that drive, which is coming up very soon. So there's that 50, and that's fully funded. And when it's fully funded, it's going to the back. So I'll deal with that in a second. The next one is things that I want to add for the home, because I'm still missing some important small items of furniture, and Little Miss 2 has broken the toy box that she had. It wasn't really a toy box, so it's not really her fault, so I want to buy one of those and a small table for outside, so I'm starting that, just putting 50 in. There we go. And then the power bill is the next major expense that I'm going to have coming up. I'm only putting 20 in this week, but I will be knuckling down on that in the future. And it's even got a tracker, so that we can just 1, 2, 10 each on those. And then I'm just going to put the 5 into Ancestry will do. I think I've mentioned before that my little one came to me in an unconventional way, shall we say. So at some point we're going to do her DNA test and see if we can find DNA matches across the world. We might not find anybody, but I think if the people concerned want to be found, because they do know about her, if they want to be found, we will probably find matches there. So that's something that we'll look at some point coming up. No hurry, but when it's time, it's time. And the rest of the things that I have in there, like my water bill, it's not until June, so that can wait. Passports, I have a disgusting number of passports, and so does the little one. We actually have 6 passports between us that we need to maintain. Plus, there's some visa shenanigans going on at the moment that cost a fortune. There will be more citizenship money being spent coming up in 2 countries. It's just it's been a very, very expensive exercise to bring her to Australia. So she'd want to be grateful. She better look after me in my old age, I tell you what. So that's Ancestry. Then my contents insurance, which I have to fill up sometime before December. My Google One subscription, only $30, but it's not till February, so it didn't make sense to be putting money away for that now when there's other things that need the money. My post office box, which was expensive when you add that parcel service in, that I'm not getting my money's worth for. Anyway, right. And I think I did have, which of course I can't find, there was a little fully funded card and I've lost it. Right, so that'll be my project for the week, to make a little funded card for that, so that I know that it's fully funded. Just have to try and remember, won't I? Right. So then we have the rest going into 100 envelope challenge, and it will be $120, $40, $50. Can't complain about that. That's a decent amount to get a few rolls out of. And there is already another 25 in there. So 100, 20, 40, 60, 75, and a few dollars in Monopoly money. And that big IOU completely gone. Amazing. Felt so good too. Right. That's it for me for this week. Thank you for sticking with me, even though that was a big cluster F, a snafu and a half. And hopefully it makes more sense once I actually have that second binder and can show it in action. I will see you then, and have a great week. Bye-bye.